This section of the video is all about waves, and this is one example of a wave. This is an ultraviolet wave. Thinking about waves and light led me on to coming up with an idea that would allow me to link my interest in amateur astronomy with teaching. During the daytime it's very hard to do astronomy, and one of the things that astronomers tend to do is get their hands on some solar filter paper. It looks a bit like this stuff here, it looks a little bit like tinfoil. It's around £25 for a sheet of A4 of this, so be careful with it when you do buy it, because you can damage it quite easily. But what I decided to do was take a lesson one day and see what I could do with this foil. And I decided to actually turn it into some educational filters. So for example, instead of just making a bog standard filter that goes on the top of your telescope, I thought, what if you could give these out to kids, give them out to groups of students, and whilst they're looking through this window at the sun in white light, I wonder if you could be teaching them something about it. So for example, this one says, use this solar filter carefully to view the sun. Did you know it can take a photon of light more than 30,000 years to travel from the centre to the edge? Try to look out for certain things such as sunspots, eclipses, and even transits. And of course you don't even need to make solar filters in that particular shape. You can go crazy, as they say, and you can make them into any kind of shape or patterns as you wish. And these have been a big hit with a lot of my pupils, and this is just a couple of them from our box of solar filters. And of course, once you've bought one sheet, you can make them as small or as big as you wish. So imagine if you had a box or a kit where you could spend one lesson or one afternoon teaching pupils all about waves and light. You could integrate going outside and actually studying the sun using these. You can go onto eBay and purchase yourselves a whole handful of solar eclipse glasses, which as you can see make you look pretty cool when you wear these, but also work exactly the same as these solar filters do here as well. And that of course gives you a lot more filters to play with to actually observe the sun in the first place. But of course when you're doing this, you can also start to bring in the science. You can start to use objects such as slinkers to discuss the properties of waves and the types of waves that we're receiving from the sun every day, such as infrared, visible lights, gamma waves, ultraviolet waves, and we can also start to bring in almost science toys as well. These are known as UV beads, and with the backlight that we started with earlier on, if we turn this UV light on and place the beads across the surface of the light, you can see that eventually what will happen is these beads will start to absorb the light being given off by this backlight. They'll then start to fluoresce, and they'll fluoresce quite bright and also in a variety of colours. It's a bit of an indication, you could call it, of a UV detection device. It detects how much UV radiation there is falling upon these beads. Take these out on a summer's day and they'll instantly change colour in the palm of your hands. It's fascinating to watch. But just by leaving the light in here for a few seconds, if I then peel this off, you should be able to see some of the colours appearing on the other side of the back of the beads there. Again, these are great to start talking about the sun, the types of waves we get, and the type of light that we receive from the sun. That's just one way that we start to incorporate this lesson on light, wavelengths, wave speeds, frequencies of light, and actual practical ways of going outside, learning, using hands-on tools, all in an aid to study a bit more about our star and our sun. And what I've tended to do then after that lesson is, if I draw your attention to the laptop screen once more, we then tend to spend a bit of time introducing our pupils to how they can become citizen scientists. Ooh. And one great website to use for this is the website Solar Stormwatch, which enables pupils to log on, create an account, and collect real-time data from the sun, collected by satellites in orbit around the sun, and study that data as part of their science lessons, which gives them a good grounding on how the sun works, the type of light we receive from the sun, and also just a little bit about how the sun works and how it's been in existence for a very long time. I think that helps them then piece bits of information together about why our sun's so important to us and why ultimately it gives rise to, well, to life on Earth. So that's my little idea on a take on how we can study our nearest star a little bit safely, link it to do with light, couple it with an idea from using the spectroscopes in the Hands on Universe website, and I hope you enjoyed this idea. And I think that is the end of our late night filming session. So thank you for watching, and please comment on the video if you get the chance to, and thank you.